Blasted things hurt like a broken heart. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stabweeds. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. He cuts down every stabweed like there's gonna be a prize for it. Core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries anyway. Gotta find a way to spring it open. Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to his orders. Even some gas fellas take his corner. The birdie pop that beanhole for him. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad, as the kid finds some spices from the motherland, tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. It's a troublesome scene to be sure. 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Zealandia. It was good living here for a while. Come on, give the little tyke a break. The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to. Peter and Machete, favorite choices of the Ura hunters we once fought. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees a plane, frozen faces all around. You don't much care to see him, not like this. folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kindly wife. It was someone like him. Kid sees him there at gate. In the flesh. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions after all. Just ain't got time for answers. The Thunder brothers didn't make it. They never saw what it was like beyond the walls. Nor did the bird boy. Didn't make it. The Jawsons, they didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? The Corps survived as well. Kid does what he has to do. And then... What do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. He was born in the Tazil terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. Kid says hello, but Zolf's lost in thought. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be all right. Well, look what we have here. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new. track down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. The Hanging Gardens. Folks used to go here to relax from their relaxing. That's Windbag Ranch. Perfect place to work a blade if you got the stomach for it. Windbag Ranch was built for gathering squirt extract in copious supply. Ain't nothing more healthful. Some folks showed up to make a fast buck with nothing but a knife. Other folks came to train their broken arms. Place gets awful slick sometimes. Still others use the place to test their finest blades. Slippery little devils. Cuts all of them down soon enough. Kid comes back from Windbag Ranch smelling good and ripe. That's Cinder Brick Fort, where the marshals used to watch over the city. There's only one way to Cinder Brick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy, normal folks. windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze, or starve, or face the kid. Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Something the windbags just can't handle. Something that'll punch clean through their greasy hides. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. Business underground like in the old days. Windbags can't use the marshal supplies, but the kid sure can. He stashes the marshal's prize. Goes back to something more his style. As for the windbags, Cinderbrick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things holed up inside that old fort. Not a scratch on him as he presses on to higher ground. He's got a squirt lure at the ready in case things turn sour. Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Ain't afraid to get burned. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Glutus and Glandon, all their scumbag equals. Kid takes down Glutus, maybe it was Glandon. The other big fella soon joins his brother, wherever they are now. The windbags finally get the message. getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that. Nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Ulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zolf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zolf was his smoking pipe. The memorial. Here a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got. Finders keepers. Collapses after just one drag. The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history. Catches up with a kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started. Fair to say he's led a hard life. alive, supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found neither. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Ceylondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Out there, kid learned to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break. The kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that. All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back. Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him. Finally arrived at Zealandia's vaunted safe haven. He and no one else. But then, all they got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name. Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real, not me. I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would. Now he can shoot that fang repeater all day long. War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them. That's the Bullhead Court. Folks defended themselves there with shields, not words. The accused always got a fair shake in Zealandia. Some used to take the Bullhead trial. Survive the trial without taking a scratch, you'd walk away a free man. Trial taught folks three things. First, a good defense is a good offense. Second, you gotta always watch your back. Third, ain't no godlike bull up there gonna save you. Just step aside and let things go. The trial pushed many a man to his limits. Well, the kid always wanted to compete in the Bullhead trial. stars. Daring bunch of fools. They'll be missed. The menders. They had thankless jobs. The most important kind. The gravers. The arm of justice. They seemed unstoppable. I've asked a lot of the kid, but this is something he's done on his own. Points just don't get any sharper than that. You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. If you're feeling low, count on the buttery flavor of our own Bastion bourbon. It wasn't fixed, it was unbroken. We could always see the stars, we just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. That's a scrapyard, where folks got to smash things and call it community service. That's Zolwood Grove, a nice quiet place to show a musket a good time.